Hello, welcome to the session about the news in the SUSE Enterprise 15 Service Pack 3 release. My name is Michal Švec and I'm product manager at SUSE, responsible for the SUSE Enterprise product family. And along with me, I have Stefan Weiberg, who is a release manager also working on SUSE Enterprise products. In the release, we will focus on the SUSE Enterprise, specifically 15 Service Pack 3, what are the highlights, what are the news, what we have done with our partners and community. And we will also dive deeper into some of the notable updates and new features. Let's have a look first on the SUSE Enterprise product family. As you can see on the picture, the span and the range is pretty wide, ranging from the desktop to the server, from data center to the cloud, from the branch to the edge. In general, we aim to support four major architectures. Those are AMD Intel 64, IBM Power, IBM Z and Linux One, and ARM 64. We aim to support most products on all these architectures. However, in some cases, the architectures are limited or the products are limited, so the support may vary. However, we really strive to encourage everyone to use what fits their needs and use the platform of choice. The key component of our offerings is the SUSE Enterprise Server, which is a general-purpose operating system, and also its twin for SAP applications, the operating system aimed for SAP workloads. We have also various flavors of the operating system, which are focusing on specific environments. Those are high-performance computing, real-time, desktop, and also we have a new addition to the SLE family, which is SLE Micro, an operating system focusing on containerized and edge environments. In order to be able to manage these platforms and operating systems, we have SUSE Manager and its retail flavor for patching, updating, monitoring, and other management functionality necessary to be done with a Linux OS. We also have various extensions which offer different functionalities which are extending and enhancing the base operating system, like high availability extension, including with geoclustering. We have a live patching extension for kernel live patching. And we also have a workstation extension, which is adding the desktop functionality to the server. On top of these products, we offer various support and consulting services. We also offer lifecycle extensions, and we also offer training, which enables anyone to use these products easily and provide details and documentation how those products can be used. At the moment, we are focusing on SLE 15, as the session title suggests. Service Pack 3 specifically is in the works right now. However, we do have three major code streams at the moment. Those are SLE 11, 12, and 15. SLE 11 is reaching out end of life in 2022, which is around the corner and is currently in long-term support, so no real active development is ongoing. We are focusing on critical fixes and security updates. SLE 12 is in general support. We have released Service Pack 5, its last Service Pack in 2019. It will be in general support for the next couple of years. So generally conservative updates only will be going in, but also we aim to provide selected enablement for new hardware or selected features as we find appropriate to not like break anything or disrupt any existing environments. SLE 15 is where most of the stuff is ongoing and most of the development is ongoing at the moment. The overall life cycle is 13 years. Those are 10 years general life cycle, general availability, and general support, plus 3 years long-term support. Each service pack has 1 year general support plus 6 months overlap support, so it's supported for 18 months. And there is an option to get long-term support for up to 3 years after the end of general support for each service pack. Just be careful that the overlap support might vary depending on the product, so if interested in the details, have a look at the lifecycle pages at the SUSE.com website. Before we dive deeper into the SP3, note on the beta program, which we are running for most of the products we develop. So we offer early access to the products, to the snapshots and milestones. We offer participation in the development cycle, so that allows for our customers and partners to kind of closer collaboration between SUSE and them, and being able to influence what's going on, being able to get hands on the pre-releases, and also communication with engineering and product management. We offer partner and public beta programs, so public beta and public release candidate is offered to everyone, and partners get more access to more milestones and snapshots as they need. So there's a URL at the top of the slide. If you're interested, feel free to jump on it and let us know, and we will be happy to work with you on our future products. All right, so at the moment we are working on SLE 15 Service Pack 3. It's around the corner. We are currently in the public RC, public release candidate phase. So the final release is really upcoming shortly. Let me bring some of the highlights of that release. So one of the notable ones, as I mentioned, is hardware enablement, which is being worked on by SUSE and, of course, by community and our partners. And just by enabling all the latest hardware features and platforms and chipsets and CPUs, we are achieving a lot of great performance and efficiency improvements. Also, another set of improvements is coming from upgrades to certain components of the operating system. For instance, we are upgrading the databases to their latest releases, like PostgreSQL is updated to 13, MariaDB to 10.5, Redis is updated, and other related components as well. And these also allow for performance and efficiency gains. The other notable topic is SAP. So we have simplified and implemented various checks which allow for easier measuring and control of installation and deployment process. Again, enhancing the efficiency and reducing the amount of bugs and potential mistakes throughout the process. We have simplified HA, live batching, and geoclustering configuration. And we have worked on something what's called SUSE Console for SAP, which is again simplifying the deployment process and enhancing the automation of the deployment. And this way we are making sure that our SAP environments are installed and deployed faster and run smoother. Another notable improvement in 15 SP3 is the getting closer closer collaboration between community and enterprise environment, specifically between OpenSUSE Leap and SLE. So what we have done is that the core of the operating system, actually both of them, is binary compatible. It's like the same set of binary packages which are shared between OpenSUSE Leap and SUSE Linux Enterprise, but allows for very simple, very easy migration from one to another. So the developers or whoever can just start the OpenSUSE, do their POCs, their trials, develop in the open. And once they start, once they need an enterprise support, they can come to SUSE, easily migrate to SLE and get a subscription and full support from SUSE. And let me illustrate on this picture how it works. So the packages are developed and built in something what's called OpenSUSE Factory. OpenSUSE Factory, from that subset of packages, is taken and built into what's called the core of SUSE Linux Enterprise. And this core is currently shared between SUSE Linux Enterprise and OpenSUSE Leap. So it's like the same set of packages. And the remainder of what's in OpenSUSE Leap is called backports. And those are community maintained packages which are still present in OpenSUSE Leap, but we also rebuild them and make them available in SLE Package Hub. So they are easily accessible to our SLE customers, so they can take advantage of the community efforts as well. So this is how the OpenSUSE and community world can collaborate and interoperate with SLE and enterprise world. And actually both parts take the advantages from one and from each other. So again, hardware enablement, we work with a lot of our partners. So we work with the chipset vendors, we work with CPU vendors, the OEMs, hardware providers, and all of them. And they are actually a key part of our ecosystem, and they are a key part of what we do with specifically 15 Service Pack 3. So there is a lot of enablement going into the release. So in case you are interested in many more details, I would encourage you to have a look at the release notes. But on this slide, I'm mentioning just some so that you can get a picture of what has done into that. So if I start with the CPU vendors, with Intel, Ice Lake D, Rocket Lake, Sapphire Rapids support has been implemented and is now fully supported. ChromPass technology is also supported. AMD new CPUs like Milan, including memory protection keys or SCVES guest support. GPU support has been improved and implemented. A lot of improvements and feature enhancements have gone into the ARM architecture. So a lot of architecture feature support has been done. You can see some of them mentioned on the slides. A lot of updates have been done for IBM, both for IBM Z and Linux One, so like NVMe improvements, but also some driver updates and other changes across the board. IBM Power 10 platform is now fully supported, so it's an upcoming platform from IBM. Hybrid network virtualization is supported, and also NVIDIA has done a lot of changes, and we have done a lot of work together with NVIDIA to support vGPU on SLES right now, enable the latest drivers, and also provide the CUDA support. And let me now switch to Stefan and let him cover some of the notable updates and more details.
Hi, I'm Stefan Weiberg, one of the project and release managers for the SUSE Linux Enterprise product family, and I'm here to talk more about the notable updates in 15 SP3. Let me begin with the core components. We're going to offer a minor version update for the kernel, including several maintenance patches and hardware enablement. We are also going to convert the preempt non-preempt voluntary setting of SLE and LEAP to make migrations from LEAP to SLE even easier. And the PowerPC protection key infrastructure cleanup that has been done in Linux kernel 5.9 is now backported to the 15 SP3 kernel. We are now also supporting secure boot on PowerVM. For selected core components, we are providing new major versions. For example, for Mesa, glibc, systemd, firewalld, QEMU, libvirt, and OpenSSH. For the development tools, we are now providing GCC 10, which is not going to replace our system compiler, which still remains GCC 7. The runtime libraries are available in the base system module, whereas the GCC 10 compiler is available in the development tools module. With GCC 10, coroutines are now supported. We are also going to provide Python 3.9 as a parallel installable version to the system Python 3.6. For perf, we are adding OpenCSD support, which is needed for the ARM core site trace streams decoding. We are also updating Node.js to version 14 and removing Node.js 8 from the distribution. We are adding several new applications. For example, we are now fully supporting XFAT, including the user space tools, where we have already added the kernel components in 15 SP2. With PostgreSQL 12, we are replacing PostgreSQL 10 as the default, and MariaDB 10.5 is replacing 10.4. We have already added Redis 6.0 after the release of 15 SP2, but we are now including it from day one in 15 SP3. With libzstd, we are providing a compression library, and we are providing the WireGuard userland tools. FRR is available as a routing daemon alternative to Quagga. In SLES for SAP, we are adding improvements to the salt automation of SAP deployments, and we are adding Prometheus exporters for monitoring your SAP workload. In HPC, OpenMPI 4 is enabled, with several version upgrades of HPC packages. And with KubeVirt, we are now enabling container-native virtualization as a technology preview. Overall, we are updating more than 630 packages in 15 SP3 with bug fixes as well as features. Many of those updates have already been released for 15 SP2 as a maintenance update. We are also deprecating several components and removing some of them in 15 SP4. For example, OpenAdObserver will no longer be available from the legacy module starting with 15 SP4, as it's being replaced with 389DS. In the slides, you can find a link for a video of our developer William Brown showing you the differences between OpenLDAP and 389DS and how to migrate from OpenLDAP to 389DS. In 15SP4, we are going to remove Python 2, including the Python 2 module. And we are also deprecating the support for system containers using libvirt LXC. As already mentioned, PostgreSQL 10 has been replaced as a default in 15SP3, and with 15SP4, it will also be removed from the legacy module. Other notable changes include the deprecation of TLS 1.0 and 1.1. The support for System 5 init descripts is also deprecated and will be removed with future major version of SUSE Linux Enterprise Server. PAM-LDAP and NSS-LDAP are deprecated as well, where we recommend to use SSSD instead. And the transactional memory on IBM Power is deprecated too. If you are interested in any further information, please head over to SUSE.com, where you can find the release notes and the further product informations, and where you can also join the beta program for 15SP3 and for future SLES releases. Now I'm handing back over to Michael Schwetz. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Stefan. Before we wrap up, let me give you 2 pointers. One is regarding the other sessions at SUSECON. So there is a session about SUSE Enterprise Product Family. And we also have a bunch of other sessions diving deeper into various aspects of the SUSE Enterprise products and technologies. So I would really encourage you to go have a look and watch those. And the other pointer is our Braindead app, where you can reach out to some of us and book a session, and we can obviously discuss, answer questions. If you have any, feel free to have a look and book us and connect. With that, thank you for watching and have a good day.